It's not your job to worry about how. Hello everyone, my name is Natalia and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm a money healer and money activator, and on this channel we talk all about money. I help spiritual business owners and business entrepreneurs, coaches and healers to up-level their money game, to make more money than ever, to have more money than ever in their bank account, to make specific amounts of money on specific dates, to intentionally double, triple, or quadruple their current monthly revenue. So if this is something that you're interested in, stick with me and make sure to subscribe. So today I want to talk about how it's not your job to worry about how. So this is something that comes up a lot, right, for a lot of people, because it's very normal, like our human mind is going to ask, but how? And I always say, like, when you're having these thoughts, like, but how is going to happen? Who is going to be? Why it's not happening? For me, this is just a clear sign that I haven't decided yet. I still haven't decided, okay, this month it's going to be my $30,000 cash month or $20,000 cash month. Like, if then after that decision, right, if I'm asking myself but how, that means that I haven't really integrated the things. I haven't really done the inner work. I haven't really let that $30,000 really land in my heart, in my body. I haven't normalized it yet, right? So this is something that I do, especially with my private one-on-one clients, right? When we first start, we make sure that all different parts of you feel safe with $30,000. Okay, all different parts of you feel safe with $30,000. We work on this subconsciously. Because if there is some part of you that doesn't want $30,000, that believes that it's not possible for you, that it's protecting you from something, right? From judgment, that believes that you're not going to fit into the family anymore, that believes that people are going to judge you if you make $30,000, then you're not going to be able to receive this amounts of money. Because for you, it's much more important that you're accepted, right, and appreciated in your family, that you fit in your family, that you are accepted and loved by your clients and people on social media, rather than they kicked you out and you feel abandoned, right? It's more important for you to fit in your family than to hit $30,000. It's more important for you the love of your partner than to hit $30,000. So we need to make sure that all different parts of you feel safe with receiving $30,000 so you can actually receive that. And how we do that, by going in your subconscious and seeing, those limiting beliefs that are absolutely limiting beliefs, and especially if they're not. By doing this work, you build this very powerful resilience where you really don't fucking care who likes you or who doesn't like you, right? Because if you're afraid what your people are going to think, if you're afraid of judgment, if you're afraid of, people kicking you out of their life, right? We need to work on that, and after that you're not going to be afraid, and after that, even if they do this, you're going to be operating from this totally different state of consciousness. You're going to be like, okay, if you don't like my programs, like I can help you, like don't watch me, don't work with me, like blah, obviously. And if your partner leaves you or something, like you don't want to be with him, like do you really want to be with someone who's leaving you because you're making more money than him, and who is not like really being very conscious and self-aware? Okay, I have my own problems and my own limiting beliefs that I need to work on. Like, you're going to look at everything from a different perspective, right? So this is very important, that all different parts of you feel safe to receiving this amounts of money. And then we do the second step, the part of integration, okay? The part of integration where you receive this money, let this money land in your heart, you jump into this frequency, you intentionally tune into this frequency. And now when you let it really land in your body, it's going to feel normal. And then when it feels normal, you're really going to also activate your inner power. It's going to be now so much easier to make this decision. I'm going to make $30,000, right? And then this decision is going to feel so fucking firm and strong in your body that you're not going to ask yourself the how, because you know how all of this works. You're very powerful. You know how universe operates, right? So it's very important that you understand, like, this whole game, right? Like this whole level where you don't need to worry about how. And people hate when I say you don't need to worry about how, because then they're going to ask me, but how I stop worrying about how? But I literally told you, right? Like all different parts of you needs to be on the same page. You need to let all this, so you can let this land. And once it lands, you feel one with it, you have normalized it, and you have decided it's going to happen. You don't know the how, and you understand that you don't need to know the how, because you understand how all of this works. You understand like what is your part of job and what is the God's parts of job, life's parts of job, source parts of job. Like you can hold it however you want. You understand really the parts of manifestation and all of this process, how it works. Like there is parts that you need to do, right? You need to clean your energy. You need to, open the way for this money to land. You need to be available, right? You need to be available for that by cleaning all of these distortions and different parts of you and really letting it land in your body, feeling it in your body. And after that, you need to decide it's just going to happen. It's not your job to think, but how, but who. Like usually if you're thinking, but how, I don't believe, this is not possible, all of that, it's because you haven't done this work previously. Okay, and if you think that you've done, just let's go back and do it again, right? And then you are going to have this very firm decision. I decided it's going to happen, right? I'm not saying that you're never going to have doubts and I don't believe it's going to happen. I'm not saying that. So this is another part of the process where you need to be aware of these doubts, where you need to learn how to lead with them, because a lot of the time, like, these doubts are going to make you close yourself, right? You're going to be, but how? And when you think about, but how, what your body is going to do is going to go, right? Like you're going to close yourself, because the ego is the one who needs to know the how. Ego is the one who needs to see the proofs and the evidences, right? And when you really understand that you don't need to know the how, because you're doing this in collaboration with the God, in collaboration with the universe, and you understand that it's God's job to worry about a how. You understand that it's God's job to deliver your clients, to deliver your money, right? Like the God's job, and your job is to trust that it's going to happen. Your job is to lean back. Your job is to surrender, right? And trust that it's going to happen. And then when you understand the roles, okay, what's my role and what's your role, then it's easier to play this game, right? When you understand the roles, when you understand, okay, my role is to keep my part clean, right? To make sure that I'm not blocking anything, to make sure that I'm not doubting, to make sure that I'm firm in my decision, to make sure that I'm surrendering, leaning back and allowing things to, to come to me. This is my part of the job. And of course, I'm never telling about, because a lot of people can misunderstand this, right? I'm again saying a lot of different people are watching this YouTube channel. A lot of people can't really misunderstand what I'm saying. Like, don't worry about how, just do this work, lay all day on your bed, right? And $30,000 is going to appear. And you're not even a business coach, you're not even a coach, a healer, entrepreneur. So it's not going to work like this. Like, I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's going to be so much harder for you to get behind this decision, to really believe that actually it's happening. So, what is really important is that you have the systems, you have the ways, you have created all the different pathways, right? So for example, I have created and I'm creating a pathways in the future for receiving the money that I want, right? Being active on YouTube channel is a part of my strategy, having a Telegram group, sending emails, being present on social media, having a product suite, having a different offers. It's all my part of the how. But do I know exactly how? Do I know who is going to reach out? Do I know, when my stuff is going to go viral? When my visibility is going to increase? When, who is going to reach out? When and how? I don't know. I don't know. No one of us actually knows. And this is the part of being an entrepreneur, is the part of uncertainty. And we need to learn how to deal with uncertainty. So we don't know the how, and there is no point of worrying about a how. There is a point of being available for it, trusting that it's going to happen, deciding that it's going to happen, creating different pathways, leaning back, surrendering, and letting go of control. And I do have actually a free masterclass on how to let big money in, how to stop doing this, like creating resistance, worrying, controlling, and doubting. So if you would love an access, DM me here in the comments and below, and I'm going to send you to access, so I could very easily charge for this program. It's that good, right? It's that good. And once you really understand this part of equation and all of these codes, it's literally going to blow your mind. Because sometimes you have been working on those parts and you feel ready, you feel worthy, you feel safe to receive amount of money, but you can be like constantly leaning forward, constantly being in this energy of worrying and doubting and controlling, and you can't really fully receive and create your best case scenario from this energy. You need really to like lean back, allow right money to come in, which means allow. Worrying is not allowing, controlling it's not allowing, right? Like worrying, it's thinking about a how, worrying is thinking about a when. All of this is worrying, and sometimes we are not aware that we are doing this. We're not aware, right, that we are worrying, and as soon as we really become self-aware and we're like really lean back, it's going to be really helpful. And this is something just that you need to do at the beginning, okay? You are definitely not going to do this every single time. So this is something this happens when you're intentionally trying to increase your income, right? When you're intentionally trying to go like, let's say from 5,000 to 10,000, from 10 to 30, right? There's going to be those moments of where you're not so certain, when you're doubting, oh, is it going to happen or not, right? When you still don't have this solid really belief when it didn't happen yet, because after it happens, you're not going to yes, you can again doubt, can you do it again? And this is also what I teach you inside of my program, like sustain your high cash months, right? How to really sustain them is the same as actually hitting it for the first time, but now you need to believe in your long-term success. And after you see that you're receiving consistently 20, 25, 20, 25, right? And now, right, this is consistent, you're expecting this amount of money every single month. Now you have this firm belief, okay, I just make this amount of money, it feels normal. And then you're not stressing every single month again, you're not worrying, this is just something that is normal. It feels normal, it feels neutral. And after that, if you want to intentionally, right, like hit $30,000, $40,000, like this initial self-doubt, right, and worry and controlling can again kick in, but then now you're like self-aware, okay, I'm worrying. Do I actually have any, do I actually have any like, advantage of worrying? Like when you realize that worrying is not helpful, it's actually not helpful, it's actually disadvantage. And with worrying, you're creating resistance. With worrying, you are actually delaying what you want, like you're delaying this money. If you worry, you create resistance, and then that is just enough, right? Like literally, I've been doing this. Okay, you're worrying currently, like do you know that like this creates resistance? Do you know that you should be worrying, that this is not your part of the job, right? Like this is not your part of the job. And I will often tell myself, like I will imagine like some invisible man or someone telling me like, okay, like let me do the job for you. And because a lot of this, it's really like leaning back in your feminine energy. And because when you're in this feminine energy, you are stepping out of your masculine, because masculine energy means constantly going forward and forward and forward, right? So you're in your feminine energy where you're leaning back and you're like trusting that it's going to happen, right? Trusting, surrendering, opening your heart and trusting and leaning back. So yeah, like your job is not to worry about a how. You don't have to worry about a how. And if you are, just do these steps, do this process. Lean back, trust that it's going to happen. Let go of worries, let go of controls, and it will. Like I can't tell you so many times when I was worrying, when I was creating resistance in the moment when I realized, okay, I'm creating resistance, I'm worrying, right? Let me lean back, let me surrender, let me relax. Like money and clients came in literally 2 hours later, 2 days later, 1 day later, right? Like this is how fast it can happen when you stop controlling and worrying and doubting and you really just lean back and trust, right? Because this is your part of the job, to leaning back and trust and knowing it's going to happen. And God's job is to deliver this to you, right? God's job is to worry about how.